You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
You are rocking with the hottest. Put your hands up for the boss. The Mixmaster is live. Get ready.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
That's right. I wanted to wake up with a little bit of funk, groove, soul, makosa. Rest in peace, Mono DeBongo, waking you up early this Sunday morning. AFC NFC Championship games right here. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Got my guys on the line here with me, waking you up early in the morning. That's right. He's back. Ronnie B, Chief Handicapper, JBTheTicket.com. Ready to get the money this morning, Ronnie. How you doing?
Good morning, JB. Good morning, Vegas. Yeah, it's a good day to make some money.
And that's what we're trying to do today. Again, guys, got the AFC and the NFC championships again on the line today. Rotation number 319, the Kansas City Chiefs on the road in Baltimore. Rotation number 320, the Ravens trying to get over the hump with Lamar Jackson to the Super Bowl. And I got my East Coast guys on the line with me. Jeff Dawson, CEO of the East Coast Sports Investors. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing?
I'm doing great, JB. Good morning to the rest of Vegas as well.
I'm so glad to have you guys here. And, of course, my main man down south going to be talking to you and bringing you the grease on the championship between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. My main man, Scotty, beam him up, Webb, from MLB-Daily.com. Going to have those baseball picks coming up for you in the next couple of weeks. Good morning to you, Scotty. How you doing?
Hey, man, I am doing great. Ready for football here and looking forward to baseball around the corner.
That's right. Waking you guys up early in the morning. Again, you guys can watch us here and listen on KSHP. We're going to have a live stream coming up on Twitch for March Madness. You guys are going to want to check that out. And, of course, here in studio, my main man, Ron Third Down Best Bets, co-host and digital contributor for Vegas Scoreboard Express. Good morning, Ron. How you doing?
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Making sure that you got the dip out because we're trying to bring out the cash and put it in your pocket. So you guys keep it locked here with me. KSHP, AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. Want to shout out to all the listeners over at the Marriott, the Rampart Casino. My main man, Ronnie B, putting it together for you. So when we get back from this short commercial break, we're going to have those picks lined up. Grab your bankroll. Let's get ready to beat the line.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar, JB the Ticket, giving you that grease.
It's time to wake up and win the weekend.
You're listening to the boss of the big bar, JB the Ticket, giving you that grease.
Join me every Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time for the live action on Vegas Scoreboard Express on KSHP 107.1 FM and AM 1400. Dive into the game day with my in-depth analysis, expert predictions, and winning plays from the sharpest minds in sports betting. It's more than just placing bets. It's about securing wins. Head over to JBTheTicket.com and be sure to tune in to KSHP this weekend from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time to ride the winning wave with VSX. Tune in and get your money back from the sports book. All money, all sports, no bull. Miss the live show? Subscribe to Vegas Scoreboard Express on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, and wherever you enjoy your favorite podcasts and radio listening.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Turn that it up. Give it that grip.
That's right, waking you back up here in Las Vegas and all around the world. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express live on KSHP, AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Want to give a special shout out to a young lady I had the pleasure of meeting last night. Had her speak on stage, Riley Gaines. That's right, University of Kentucky Wildcats stand up. Miss Riley, you keep doing what you're doing out there, sounding the alarm and all the nonsense. We ain't got time for it here over at VSX. All money, all sports, no bull. Back on the line with me this morning, Ronnie B, Chief Handicapper, JBTheTicket.com. Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb, CEO and Chief Handicapper for MLB-Daily.com. And, of course, the CEO of the East Coast Sports Investors, Jeff Dawson. And live in studio, Ron Third Down Best Bets. So, guys, let's jump into it. The Kansas City Chiefs, again, these guys are back in the AFC Championship game. Rotation number 3-1-9. Plus 4.5 road dogs. These guys are heading out to the Baltimore Ravens. Rotation number 3-2-0, minus 4.5. You talk about those money line plays. Baltimore, minus 220. Going to cost you a little bit, but the Kansas City Chiefs, you're talking about a team right now barking at plus 180. So I'm going to start it off with the two Rons. Again, good morning, guys. Glad to have you back. I know that you were waiting to get this game going. I'm going to just throw this out there. Everybody's saying that the Ravens are destined to go to the Super Bowl because they are being coached by a Harbaugh brother. But I'm telling you right now, you got the Kansas City Chiefs coming in with the Swifties. No matter how bad Travis Kelce plays, seems to be a good luck charm for the Kansas City Chiefs. And again, back to the AFC Championship. This game is on Fubo TV. So I'm going to give you two guys a chance to go at it here. Rotation number 3-1-9. The Kansas City Chiefs at plus 4.5 or plus 180. I mean, I like the Baltimore Ravens. I like what they can do, but Kansas City is battle tested. And when you're battle tested and you've already won the big game and you've already got a ring and you've got a head coach named Andy Reid, that could spell a disaster for the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, we saw it over the past couple of weeks. When you see the Kansas City Chiefs defense, that has been the key to help them win these games. But I'll throw this one at you, Ron Third Down Best Bets. How do you see it playing? Do you like the spread here? Is this one of those spreads where 4.5, 5, dead money? Do you want to take Kansas City up with a full 7? Go ahead.
Well, I like the spread here, personally. I think Baltimore is going to have a good game. You know, I don't want to give away too much, but I like Baltimore. I like the spread. I'm going with the over at the moment.
He's liking the over in the moment. Ronnie B here, again, Chief Handicapper, JBTheTicket.com. A lot of people are giving up on the Kansas City Chiefs at this point, but last weekend, again, shout out my main man, Troy. West. Going to be coming on the half hour here. He told us that last weekend, he concurred with me that Travis Kelce had to have a big game. 2 touchdowns last week. Do we continue to see more out of Travis Kelce this weekend to shock the world and put the Ravens back on the bus to drive around the corner back home? Go ahead.
Well, I'll tell you what, I have a future ticket on Baltimore, so I'm going to talk about the total here since Ron Best just brought it up. The team off a win as a dog in the last game like KC last week has gone 20-31 straight up, only 39%. So that leans to Baltimore. They're 28-21 against the spread, about a 59% split. Now, here's the number that you're going to like. 17-34 to the over-under on that last home dog win. That's 33%. So I'm leaning to the under. I like the total has slipped down a half a point this morning. So everybody is leaning that way with the money. So I'm going to play the under. Well, I think it's 43.5, and I highly recommend we do that. And everybody out there that wants to play parlays, because there's only 2 games today, stay away from that temptation. Just take a side or a total and try to win some money.
Stay away from the parlays. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investor, chomping at the bit. Baltimore Ravens. Let's talk about the Harbaugh guys, and I'm going to bring you in, Scotty, Beam Him Up Webb, on this as well. When you look at Harbaugh, his brother won the national championship with Michigan. He's been trying to get that ring with the Baltimore Ravens. Are the Ravens today the team to beat? Because they're priced at minus 4.5. I know that you and Scotty like to do teasers, but talk about that total again. Ronnie says going under. Is weather going to be a factor? Because I don't think the cold weather is going to affect either one of these two teams. Okay, Kansas City, again, like I said last week, they already won an ice bowl over Miami. They were able to get out another win to get to this point. here with the Ravens. So why is the total so low to start and a lot of people are taking the under? Do you think there's just going to be less offense or more defense? Jeff Dawson, go ahead.
It was 44.5 to start late last Sunday, early Monday morning. I guess as the week progressed, the potential of some rain there. So, I mean, the initial look was 24-20 Ravens. The opening number went to 3.5, went right to 3 immediately, but has steadily progressed. Yesterday afternoon, circa Jeffrey Benson was the first place to move it to 4.5. Overnight, some money did come back in on the Chiefs for now a flat 4. I got the board covered unless the Lions sneak into the Super Bowl somehow, some way, which we'll get to. I just can't wrap my head around how the Ravens lose here. But I think at the end of the day, what scares me the most, JB, is we're going to be sitting in front of the TV saying it was always Mahomes, it was always Andy Reid, like Tom Brady getting points. How can you ever bet against Tom as an underdog? And I'm starting to smell this way. I got Ravens to win the game. Instead of the total itself, I got Baltimore team total over 24.5, and I bought that in at plus 111, JB.
Scotty, beam him up, Webb, chomping at the bit. So glad to have you back on the line this morning. You talk about the running game of the Kansas City Chiefs. They've relied a lot on a late-round draft pick, Isaiah Pacheco. But the dynamic wide receivers, we just haven't seen it. And when you look at what's on the other side of the ball with Lamar Jackson, I think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to try to tape himself up today and get out there. Put on the mittens, try to stay warm. I think that's going to be the key here, the passing game. Zay Flowers for Baltimore, if he can hold on to the ball when it's thrown to him, he can be dynamic. But when you go over to the Kansas City Chiefs side, they've got some unknowns here who've really been making it happen. Again, they brought Mecole Hardman back off of the scrap sheet, but he's still not getting really where he was prior to his first stint with the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's talk a little bit about that wide receiver core and the quarterback battle here, because I think that's going to be the true key. The quarterback that not only throws less interceptions, but gets to 3 touchdowns first. Again, that's my prop bet today. I think it's going to be Lamar Jackson, just simply because I think he has more weapons. He's got Nelson Aguilar back there. Guys are really, really healthy in Baltimore, and they've had a 2-week chance to get some rest. Scotty, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a problematic game for a lot of reasons, right? I mean, last week the Chiefs had to go to play in Buffalo. It was one of those big rivalry games for them. And, they play those big games every single year. Well, they don't play these big games with Baltimore every year. So you've got a different kind of scenario sitting there to begin with. And, Lamar Jackson's had an MVP kind of season. And quite frankly, Mahomes coming into the playoffs, he's, 15th ranked quarterback in the NFL. I mean, everybody thinks he's the best quarterback. I get it. And he's got a lot of magic. But, data-wise, offense-wise, he's kind of middle of the pack. So I think there's a definite edge for Baltimore, the quarterback there. But, the truth of this game, to me, comes down to Todd Monken. Todd Monken's the offensive coordinator for Baltimore. He came in and replaced Greg Roman for a reason. And last week, Houston was playing against Baltimore, and in the first half of that game, the Houston defense was doing a lot of things that made Baltimore uncomfortable. Well, at halftime, the adjustments came in from Todd Monken, and Todd Monken just tore them up. And, what did they score? I think they scored 21 second half points.
Right.
4 second half points.
They blew them out, man. They blew them out, and that's what I'm thinking that the Ravens are going to do today. You talk about adjustments. Again, you're listening to JB the Ticket Vegas Scoreboard Express live on KSHP 107.1 FM at AM 1400. VSX Digital Sports Networks is the channel. You go into this game and you ask yourself, the way it's priced, this is a bookmaker's game, okay? You're giving me a spread plus minus 4.5, and I'm seeing that across the board. You got to spend some money to buy points today, and that's where the cash is going to be made. You're talking about a team right now, the Baltimore Ravens, minus 4.5. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, look, guys, if you want to do a double-side ticket today, and you guys know I like these double-side tickets, I could possibly see spending a little bit of money to buy the Ravens up to -1. Go ahead and take a money line, pay that $285 premium, and then that's your 2 tickets. You got your nice little spread bet. Win by 1, lose by none, get the money. And then you've also got that opportunity to go with the money line, because if the Ravens lose at home today, there's a certain narrative in football that it's scripted. It's not scripted, but there's a reason that they call it plays, people, and they call it the scheme. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back at you live, waking you up early in the morning. Ron, third down, best bet, sitting over here chomping at the bit. I'm going to give you one more chance to redeem yourself with your pick today. You're saying this game is going to go over. Where's the offense going to come from? Go ahead.
Lamar Jackson. He's got Mark Andrews back. I like him going double tight end with Andrews and Isaiah Likely. Creates many problems for Kansas City's defense.
He's telling you Kansas City's defense, which has been on a tear this year. I think they're ranked number 3. Jeff Dawson, best bet for this game. I know that you were talking about the total. Take the team total. How is that going to play out when you go to the second half adjustments that Scotty Beam 'em up Webb put out there for you? Can the Baltimore Ravens make the adjustments to finally shut down Andy Reid and that offense that he is able to call? Because, again, Andy Reid, shout him out, man. No one's talking about him for Coach of the Year. He had a lot of personal problems, and he didn't let it bleed over into the team. I always like to see things like that, and he's got the Chiefs back in the AFC Championship game today. Rotation number 319, Kansas City +4.5, +180 on the money line, going out to Baltimore. Rotation number 320, -220 on that money line. Jeff Dawson, one more thought on it. The total, 44, up, under. Do you want to try to tease that a little bit? Maybe buy yourself a couple extra points, buy yourself an extra touchdown? Go ahead.
No, I like actually what Ron said as well. I'll get to that later, but I would sneak the over 44. I think that Baltimore's going to get to 27. They might even get to 30. I got Kansas City stuck at 20, so I could see a 30-20 game, 27-20. So I think it gets over the 44. And as Ron said about those double sets, I do have an Isaiah Likely anytime touchdown prop at +330. Good eyes, Ronnie.
Giving you the prop bets, waking you up early in the morning. My guys here, Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I get back from the short commercial break, guys, all money, all sports, no bull. More grease. Keep it locked. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
The best choice for convenience, comfort, and value, My Place hotels are ideal for both short-term and long-term travelers. The rooms at My Place features pillow-top mattresses, microfiber bedding, and a variety of soft and firm pillows. All extended stay rooms offer their own kitchen, which includes a full-size refrigerator and a cooktop. On-site laundry facilities are also available for extended stays at pet-friendly My Place hotels. Book your stays online at myplacehotels.com. My Place Hotels, St. George and West Jordan, Utah. Make My Place your place.
More fire, more heat. You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Giving you that great Vegas Scoreboard Express. Always spitting that explosive fire.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express here, KSHP AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Got him on the line with me, Ronnie B, Chief Handicapper, JBTheTicket.com, giving you the grease, waking you up each and every Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 to 12 Eastern. And again, my East Coast guys, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investor CEO, and Scotty, beam him up, Webb, CEO and Chief Handicapper for MLBDaily.com. So let's get back into this game, guys. I'm going back to the Kansas City game because, again, this is a team situation here that we've seen over the past couple of weeks where you got a team with a lot of rest. And I want to talk to you about the possibility of the Baltimore Ravens maybe having a little bit of rust on them, okay? We saw the rust start off with the Houston Texans. They made the adjustments. Do the Baltimore Ravens have to start off fast and keep the pedal to the metal? I'll throw this one over to you, Ronnie B. Las Vegas. When you talk about Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, the MVP season, he got the $250 million that he wanted. He hit all of his incentive marks. Mom put together a good deal for him. But today the test is, can you get the other Harbaugh brother into a championship position? Go ahead.
Well, I believe sure you can. And I think Baltimore's going to come out conservative. I don't think they're going to test the air right off the bat because of the running backs they do have, and with Lamar's legs. You know, Gus Edwards can run the ball about 4 yards a carry. So I think they're going to test the defense. And again, I'm playing the total against those two guys that like the over here today. I'm going to let them know that the KC's only allowed 24 points last week to Buffalo. And then before that, it was the first week of December that they led 27 points to Green Bay. Other than that, they had like 6 or 7 games in a row under 20 points, so scored against them. So I think this game's going to come out conservative, and I think Baltimore is going to run the ball, and I think KC is going to dink and dunk and try to run the ball.
He's liking the under here, going back to Ron, third down best bets, the two Rons, the Kansas City Chiefs, okay, their defense, number 3 overall for the season. These guys have really made a defensive improvements, but they haven't had the offensive juggernaut that we've seen in the past. This has really been win by committee so far. 7-2 on the road is the straight up record, but only 5-4 against the spread. That doesn't bode well when you talk about a team that may not be able to get a lot of points scored. And when we go back a couple of weeks back when they lost to the Raiders, they didn't even get that much offense, a lot of mistakes. Baltimore's got a really good defense here, and I think that if the Baltimore Ravens really get out and push, not so much on offense like Ronnie B said, kind of keep it slow, but if they just start giving pressure to Patrick Mahomes, who is he going to be able to throw it to? I'm looking at that wide receiver core, man, and I'm just not seeing anything out there except for that long dog, plus 4.5. Go ahead.
Well, Travis Kelce's a great player, but I don't know if he's injured, if he's just not in the greatest shape, but it seems like he has to take a lot of plays off. He makes a good play, and he's out for 2 plays. That's a problem. They need him this game. I mean, Rashee Rice is a great receiver, but he got pretty banged up against Buffalo. I know Pacheco's hurting right now. Isaiah Pacheco, he's got a sore toe, and that's one thing that makes me think that the Baltimore defense is going to be able to control him. I mean, a lot of his weapons, Mahomes, are hurt right now, and they're playing really hurt. And Baltimore's defense is really healthy, and I like the matchup, Kelce on Hamilton. Hamilton has been able to shut just about everybody down this season, so I think he's going to be hurting for weapons.
He's going to be needing somebody to step up. Isaiah Pacheco talking about this game. Let's move into the one big game that everybody's been talking about. This is a team that we haven't seen with that logo at this point of the season in quite some time. Of rotation number 321. Shout out to all my people over in the Motor City. The state of Michigan. They're looking to own the football world. Michigan Wolverines national championships in college football. What type of story would that be for the Detroit Lions to take home that Lombardi trophy? But they've got a huge obstacle in front of them today, guys, and I'm talking about rotation number 322, the San Francisco 49ers, minus 7.5. That's the big spread of the day, people. Both of these teams in games early started off in the plus 10, and I told you guys you got to wake up early in the morning with JB to take it each and every Saturday and Sunday. I told you guys to bet this one last week, and the reason why I say that is simply because the San Francisco 49ers have quietly dismantled every single team that they have played in the last 7 weeks. 13-5, 6-3 at home. Their only problem, though, is they don't cover spreads. They're 3-6.
Might be some cash to be had here, taking the Lions in the points. I know it's a scary money line proposition. Throwing this one over to you, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. When you take a look at the Detroit Lions, they were able to get past the Buccaneers to get to this point. You look at this guy and you say to yourself, where is Jared Goff's mind going to be? If Jared Goff wants to win, if Jared Goff feels that he can make it, Jared Goff can be a dynamic player. We saw that last week with the win over Tampa Bay. He played very well, controlled, poised football. I was shocked, and I had Tampa Bay in that game, and unfortunately I didn't get paid. He's also got experience, and I want to go to quarterback experience here with you, Scotty, because Jared Goff has played in the big game. Brock Purdy has not. I think that could be a difference maker here. Go ahead.
Well, I don't think that Jared Goff could have expected to have any better circumstances to play under last week or the week before. He's playing at home in a raucous environment with just a super home field advantage. It's indoors. The team plays so fast in those places. And I don't think that he could have been in a better situation to play under than any circumstances that he's had. Going into today's game, that all changes. He's going to now play outside. He's going to play on the road. He's not going to be in a spot where the team's going to be able to play fast because of the conditions of the field. So I don't think you're going to see this same Jared Goff. Now, the other thing that I would tell you is that, you know, theoretically you've seen this story before, right? You've got the stalwart team, and so to speak, like the San Francisco 49ers, who have been expected to be the better team all season long, and the upstart, you know, Detroit Lions, who've done great, you know, and they've had their fun, and at some point it comes crashing to an end. And I think that's why you see this number the way it is, statistically speaking and power rating wise for almost every, you know, person out here. The San Francisco 49ers have been the best team all year. There's no point to keep them from not being the best team. And to be honest, the Detroit Lions haven't been, you know, the number 2 team in the NFL or the number 2 team in the NFC all season long. So I think you see that's why you see the number where it is. And I also think Deebo Samuel playing in this game is going to matter, and I think you're going to see this number of 7 get exploited today. And I think you can call me Mr. Chalky McChalkerson today.
There you go, my main man Scotty. Beam him up, Webb, giving you the grease. He's telling you that the 49ers are chomping at the bit, poised to get going. I got Troy West getting ready to come on the line with us here. Troy, I hope you're tuned in. KSHP, get ready to get locked and loaded because we've got a full slate today. Straight NFL, all football, all money, all sports. No bull, Vegas Scoreboard Express. I want to throw this one to you, Jeff Dawson. The Lions haven't been getting a lot of grease, okay? The fans are high on the fact that they got to the NFC Championship game, but we saw this back in the early 90s when they had the great Barry Sanders, okay? And they didn't get over the hump. But Jared Goff, he's played very good football. And when I go back to the quarterback situation, Brock Purdy, now let's talk about him here. He has been under the radar. Last year, Mr. Irrelevant, everyone has given him all types of bad press, saying that this young man is a system quarterback, that he can't really play the game if pressure is put on him. So let's put that to the test today. The Detroit Lions have one of the better defenses in the league, and you go back again to quarterback experience. We saw Brock Purdy last year, you know, he came up short, you know, but he didn't have Christian McCaffrey, who I think is a man on a mission this year. This is the one running back in the entire NFL who remained healthy and has been putting in the work. But the Detroit Lions, man, do you give them a chance today? You talk about money line odds here. You go into the spread +7, +285. I've seen it at a few places. How do you make some money if you're a Detroit Lions fan? Go ahead, Jeff Dawson.
You know, the 49ers are fortunate to be in today's game. They were outplayed by the Packers last Sunday. They were 2 dropped pick sixes away from being down 10 points. And when it came down to it, a missed field goal by the Packers earlier that would have been for the tie there, and who knows what happens in overtime. So it's almost like a second lease of life. There'll be no rain today in San Francisco, which we know Brock Purdy is not a mucker. He doesn't throw the ball well. Debo, 50-50. Is he a decoy? How good is Debo going to be? And as we were speaking earlier, two things that just moved in front of my eyes. The San Fran team total is now up to 31, and the Detroit team total is now 21.5 juice under. So a couple things stand out to me. I think you can get a plus 102 on the Lions to get over 21.5 today. Jamar Gibbs, St. Brown, Sam Laporta, and if Aiden Hutchinson on the defensive side is putting pressure on Purdy, he's in for a long, long day. As you said, they're going to want to establish CMC. So I think it's a great game. Another game where I'll be a little contrarian here. I think it goes over the total, JB.
He's telling you going over that total. That's an expensive total. 52.5, guys. I got to bring him on the line. My main man, Troy West, knocking on the door, chomping at the bit. Let's go around the round table, get a couple of quick shout-outs. Tell us where the fans can get your best picks, plays of the day. Guys, you got to go to my website, jbtheticket.com. Buy the picks. I know you're like, well, we just take what you say on the radio. And I'm like, you know what? What if I decided to poison the water for you? You know what I mean? But we won't do that if you put cash in the pocket. You pay it for it. All money, all sports, no bull. Ron, third down, best bets. We'll start off the shout-outs with you, Ronnie B. Then we go to Jeff Dawson and Scotty Beam him up Webb. And then we're bringing in Troy. West from TroyWins.com. Go ahead, guys. Shout-outs and best plays where they can find you. Put some cash in your pocket.
You can get my picks at JB the Ticket under Ron Third Down Best Bets. You can also get me on Twitter. Get me at RaiderHawk001 and Instagram, RaiderHawk01.
There you go. Ronnie B, Chief Handicapper, JBTheTicket.com. Where can they get your best plays of the day, man? I know you got some college basketball. They told me you're 16-1 run over at the Marriott. Verified. Live people seeing you do it. Tell fans where they can get some of that grease. Go ahead.
I'll tell you what, we are on a 16-1. I got a lot of customers happy this past week and a half. And I'm going to change it up. I'm going to have a personal phone call with you. Give me a call, 219-765-3487. I'm going to talk to you direct, and I'm going to work out a deal where you can make some money. Come and get the cash.
There you go. Get the cash. Scotty, beam him up, Webb down in Florida. Go ahead.
Yeah, the best way to follow me is just follow me on Twitter, and you can go to my website. We're working on getting that thing back up and running again for baseball. A lot of things getting ready to come up, and I think the best way to do it is just to keep an eye on things as things progress, and there'll be a lot of information this year.
There you go, Scotty, beam him up, Webb, MLBDaily.com, and then Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. And when we come back, we're going to have him on the line, my main man, Troy West. Go ahead.
You can find me on X or Twitter at EC Sports Invest. You can head on over to our website at eastcoastsportsinvestors.com and on all social media platforms at East Coast Sports Investors.
There you go, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. You can follow me on Instagram at JB the Ticket. If they're not still hating and shadow banning, you can get over to the X-Bird at We Beat the Line. And most importantly, you got to get to those daily deals, people. So when we get back, I might even have an extra special guest on the big board. Full house today. Full pockets, full cash. Let's get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Give you that grease.
Shopping is always easy with the Radio Shopping Show. Whether it's shopping during any one of our live shows right here on AM 1400 or listening live on the KSHP app, you can always call in at 702-221-7283 to pick up great deals with your favorite host. Or shop 24/7 at KSHP.com. Go to KSHP.com and select Shopper's Guide to browse hundreds of businesses featured on the show. Place your order online and we'll have it shipped right to your front door. With so many possibilities, it's hard not to shop.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
In times of war and peace, the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serving our country. We salute those who have given their lives for our country. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten.
This salute is courtesy of Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, serving our area with quality and pride. For a fantastic meal, stop by 1331 West Warm Springs Road in Henderson, or call them at 725-214-4140. That's 725-214-4140. Mac and Grill Cheese Factory, on the air reminding everyone that we live in the land of the free thanks to our brave.
Skip your cable bill this month and join the action with JB and Fubo TV. Get 7 days free, 15% off your first month. No credit check, no deposit, no installation hassle. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. Sign up, download the app, and start watching games.
Enjoy being a subscriber after the first month. Easy cancellation anytime. Regional restrictions apply. Sign up at VegasScoreboardExpress.com.
You're tuned into the VSX Digital Sports Network.
More fire, more heat. You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JP the Kicker. Vegas scoreboard express. Turn that shit off. Give it that grip.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Right here on KSHP, AM 1400, 107.1 FM. Want to give a shout out to my main man, Noah. Working with my main guy, Lieutenant Colonel, retired U.S. Air Force, David Flippo. Appreciate your hooking up with that program last night. Man, trying to go to Congress, guys. You can check him out on the web. All you got to do is Google it, but we're going to get into the grease today. I got him back on the line with me, my main man, Troy West. From TroyWins.com. Man, we did some work yesterday in that college basketball arena. Sounds like you might be in a helicopter or something like that. But anyway, good morning to you. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, I actually did. You caught me in the helicopter, headed to the casino. I got to get my bets in before 12 p.m. Pacific, JB.
There you go. And I got him on the line with me as well. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Again, you can follow him on rotowire.com. He's one of the writers there. So glad to have you back, man. We got the full house back this morning on the big board to round it out for this AFC NFC Championship weekend. Good morning.
Morning, JB. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad to have you back. So let's jump back a little bit. I want to get you two guys' thoughts on the opinions. And again, you got Ronnie B here, Las Vegas Chief Handicapper. You got Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors. Scotty, Beam him up, Webb from MLB Daily. And Ron, Third Down Best Bets. Again, guys, a full house at the big board. So Troy West, I'll throw this one over at you. The Kansas City Chiefs, rotation number 319, plus 4.5, plus 180 on the money line. The total is 44. Going out to the Baltimore Ravens, who are poised to get to the big game this year out here in Las Vegas. Rotation number 320, minus 4.5, minus 220. Total is 44. What are your thoughts on this game? Do the Baltimore Ravens, do they need to have that line adjusted, or can you safely take the Ravens and think that they'll win by that touchdown? Because 4.5, as you know, is dead money. Or on the other side, the dog barking. Can you bet Pat Mahomes as a dog in this position? And most importantly, from a head coaching perspective, do you think Andy Reid lets Harbaugh gets the best of him today on the road? Go ahead.
You know, I think the Chiefs have a little bit of an advantage seeing Josh Allen last week. I mean, Josh Allen, almost a clone of Lamar Jackson, loves to scramble, loves to run. So the Chiefs defense just saw that, and they did a pretty good job against Josh Allen. The biggest concern for me is fatigue. I mean, this Kansas City team, they had the game at negative 30 degrees at home against Miami. They had the tough battle against Buffalo. Can they do it one more time? I'll be honest, JB, my strong lean's actually on the under. I think this is going to be a run-it-out slugfest. Two really good defenses. I think Kansas City's defenses will come to play. I think Mike McDonald and the Ravens defense will come to play. I think ultimately this game's decided at a 20-17 type of football game. So I actually do like the Chiefs getting 4.5.
He likes the Chiefs getting 4.5. It sounds like you're concurring with Ronnie B here, Chief Handicapper, JB the Ticket. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook, same game. I know you've got some special prop bets here for me, and I know you've got some stats. Kansas City, We didn't talk about that earlier, and thank you for bringing that up, Troy. Could fatigue be a factor? These guys have been playing hard to win close games in atrocious weather for the last 3 to 4 weeks in the postseason. Could be a little bit banged up. Your thoughts?
Well, I'd like the Chiefs here in this matchup, and I think Andy Reid's record among a lot of analytics here supports that. John Harbaugh is obviously one of the best coaches in the NFL as well. But there's something special about Reid and his Chiefs teams over the years. They have played 32 games in which they and their opponent enjoyed a 6 or more point lead in the game. So we have volatility out the yin yang, so to speak, with the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think that's going to spill over to this game too. So in those games, there was 20 wins that Andy Reid has trailing by 5 or more going into the fourth. That's tops in the NFL by far. I kind of was set back with CBS saying that Shanahan had only won one game out of 35 when trailing by 5 or more in the fourth. And believe me, there's a lot of coaches, Super Bowl champion coaches like Jay Gruden, who never won a game when trailing by 5 going into the fourth. So he was 0-37 in his career. So I think that's a little misleading for that type of game. And I think if you do see the Chiefs behind at any point here, especially in the second half, it might be worth a piece of money bet. But the algorithm I have here has gone 31 and 39 straight up, 49-21 for 70% against the number. Bet on road underdogs 3.5 to 9.5 points. Our dog has committed no more than 1 turnover in each of the last 2 games, and the host has forced 0 turnovers in their previous game. That's all you need, and that hits 70%. If the game occurs in the playoffs, these dogs have gone 7-2, 78% over the last 10 seasons. So that's why I'm riding the Chiefs today.
Telling you the dog is barking from Kansas City. They're coming out to take some of those blue crab away. I'm throwing this one over to you. Back at you, Ronnie B. We're going to jump into the Detroit Lions game here because that's where we were starting. Ron, third down, best bets. I want to talk to you about this one as well. You guys give some banter. The even money. This is the big spread. +7. Detroit Lions, you got to look at what Jared Goff is going to be able to do today because if he throws 2 or more picks, I think San Francisco wins this one by 1, lose by none. I think it might be too big of a spread. Everyone's talking about Kansas City and Baltimore. I think that the dynamic receiving core with Lamar Jackson in that particular game could open up the scores a little bit, okay? Just saying, they've got Zay Flowers, Odell Beckham Jr. probably come in for a couple of easy touchdowns in the red zone, so he's got weapons there. But moving into the Detroit Lions, who not a lot of people are respecting that offense, you look at Jared Goff last week, yes, he had the easy, quote-unquote, easy home win. But when you also talk about experience between the 2 quarterbacks, Jared Goff has played in the big game. Brock Purdy has not. So, again, Ronnie B., I'm going to have you and Troy West go with this one. Ronnie B., go ahead and your thoughts on this. Who's the better quarterback today?
Well, I think Brock Purdy's the better quarterback. He's 17-1 against the NFC teams, okay? But let me tell you, every playoff has a Cinderella. And with the final 4 teams here, I think we're all going to agree that Detroit's the Cinderella team here. They haven't won 2 straight playoff games since the 1950s, and they were lucky enough to have them both at home this year. A couple things that stand out to me that why I'm going to tell you what I'm going to play here. Against Minnesota, the Detroit defense gave up Mullins 2 games, over 800 yards passing and about 10.5 yards per play. Now, let me give you another one here. Outdoors, on the grass this year, Detroit is not as quick as they are in their dome. They lost to the Bears, 28-13 on grass outdoors. They lost to the Packers, 29-22 outdoors. They lost to Baltimore, 38-6 outdoors on turf. You know where I'm going with this, JB? I'm going double-fisted on the San Francisco 49ers.
He's telling you he's taking everything, taking the retirement checks, the total profits from the 16-1 week, and rolling it over to the San Francisco 49ers. Ron, third down, best bets. Do you concur?
I concur 100%. 49ers just got way too much going right now, and I think the surprise factor is going to be their linebackers. They don't get enough credit. D. Greenlaw, Fred Warner, they are impact players, and I think they're going to make a huge impact today.
Telling you they're going to make a huge impact. Throwing this one back over to you, Jeff Dawson. You talk about this total being 52.5. Let's get back into the totals. This is a game where I feel that a lot of the players are going to be up for it on both sides. of the game. So the defense of the Detroit Lions and the defense of the San Francisco 49ers, as just mentioned by Ron Third Down Best Bets, are two of the best in the league, if not, I think 2 and 3 or 3 and 4 or something like that. How are we going to get over 52 points? Are they saying that Jared Goff and the Lions, who Ronnie B, Las Vegas, just told us they stink outside? That's the key here. They are the only dome team left. Do you think that could be a huge factor? Jeff Dawson, go ahead.
Well, I'm going to go way, way back. Opening game of the season, the very first game, they did travel to Kansas City and beat them on that Thursday night game to start the year, which again is a long, long time ago. They have gone to Lambeau Field and win this year as well. So again, it's a different team. Are they happy just to be in the NFC Championship? Again, I can't say this enough. I think the 49ers got a second lease on life. They're very fortunate to be where they are. I think you're going to see a totally different 49ers team. And how do you get over that total? Very simply, initially, this looked like a potential 31-21 game, which to me, again, has the 49ers winning by 10 or better. If it's 31-17, does Detroit get that backdoor touchdown late to get to 24? So if you're looking for another way to potentially get the over in a cute way, the San Francisco team total right now is 31, and you can get the over 31 points at plus 104, G.
Telling you where to get some cash at. I'm going to throw that one to you, Troy West and John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Got about 8 minutes left, guys. I want to get your thoughts on this one. Rotation number 321, the Detroit Lions on the road today, and San Francisco. Plus 7, get you even money on the money line. You got plus 280, total 52.5. San Francisco minus 7. You got to bet the house, like Ronnie B said. Go double fisted at minus 350 money line. Troy West, go ahead.
Yeah, as Lee Corso would say, not so fast, my friend. I think Deebo Samuel, look, I think he's going to be a decoy today. If this guy really was healthy, he would have finished out that Green Bay game last week. You can't tell me 5 days later he's ready to go. I think Deebo Samuel will be on the field, but he's a decoy. And without Deebo Samuel, the San Francisco 49ers are 0-3 this year when he doesn't finish the game. Brock Purdy looked terrible last week. He hasn't proven anything in the playoffs to this point. Jared Goff has the Super Bowl ring under him. The Detroit Lions can run the football. Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery are probably the best 1-2 punch in the NFL. I think that's the recipe to beat the 49ers. We saw it last week with Green Bay. Green Bay should have won that game outright. They were a couple dropped interceptions last week from winning that game. Not just outright, but winning the game handedly. I think Detroit goes in there and keeps this thing close. I don't necessarily think they're going to win, but I think this is a 4-point game. I'll take Detroit all day with the points in this one.
He's telling you he likes Detroit Lions in the points. John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. And I'm also going to get you, Scotty, beam him up, Webb, on this game. You two guys give me a little bit of banter, about a minute and a half between the two of you. Detroit, no value at even money, plus 7. Do you think it's just better to bet these guys win by 1, lose by none? Again, Dan Campbell was able to win outside at the Kansas City Chiefs in that Week 1 game. Troy West, I think that was the game me and you first met, right? When you were in here, out here in Vegas. Yeah, you and the boys. So we talk about that when John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. The San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy doesn't have that experience. Go ahead.
Well, I think there's two things here I'll note. In the betting markets over at DraftKings, 35% of the tickets are being bet on the 49ers, yet 55% of the handle is on the Niners. And I agree with you. It seems like the line is too high, but what does the market tell us? The market always is right. And the market is telling us that the 49ers are the bet because they are favored by more than we had expected, the group of professionals that we are. The other question is, do you think that Detroit's defense, as bad as it is in the back end, can hold San Francisco to 28 or fewer points? Then maybe you do bet the Lions. But just note this. And home games, when the 49ers score 28 or more points, and you said the team total is 31, when they score more than 28 and have the same or fewer turnovers, they are a perfect 17-0, straight up 15-1-1 against the spread. I think the Niners, you go to the window, like the guy said, with both fists and just lay it.
Telling you, Ronnie B told you to put the cash in your pocket with the 49ers. So did John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. I want to talk to you a little bit more, Ronnie B here. and Ron Third Down Best Bets. And, of course, Scotty Beam 'em up Webb. I want to get you to start off this one. Everybody's throwing their money at the San Francisco 49ers. I know that me and you like to do some of these dog teasers. If there was any team to tease today, 6-3 on the road, 7-2 against the spread in their last 9, the Detroit Lions, in my opinion, are still a dog that's barking, at least with that touchdown and a half hanging out there. Scotty, beam him up. Go ahead.
Well, when you play a teaser, you're going to look at 6.5, 6 points, something like that, whatever the number you end up doing is. You need the total to be in a reasonable spot. So you don't want the total over 50. You want the total to get under 48 so that way you can control to a certain degree the scoring and the numbers that you have there. So in this particular situation, I would not be playing a teaser in this game because the total's too high. That just indicates that there's going to be a lot of scoring. So that it could be a blowout one way, or it could be a pretty competitive game all the way down the line. So I would not tease this game.
He's telling you not to tease the game again. Scotty, beam him up, Webb. East Coast Sports Investors, MLBDaily.com. Again, waking you up early in the morning here, guys. Got about 3 minutes left. I'm getting everything set up to get going here. Let's go around the big board and start talking about some of the best plays of the day. Again, being brought to you by our friends over at Fubo TV. That's right. Go to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off and 7 days free to watch to get started. And most importantly, saving you guys some money on that cable bill. You don't want to get stuck out there paying a ton of cable bills. Don't get cable, get Fubo TV. So I'll start off with you, Ron, Third Down Best Bets here in studio. Thank you so much for jumping on the big board and stopping by today. Best play of the day and where they can pick it up and get it from you. Go ahead.
Like everybody's saying, I say San Francisco, go double-fisted on everything.
Double-fisted from Ron Third Down Best Bets. Where's your Instagram? Where's your Twitter? Where can they find you? About another 2 minutes. Go ahead.
You can catch me at RaiderHawk001 on Twitter and RaiderHawk1 on Instagram.
Telling you where to go. Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, thank you for stopping by this morning. Tell them what ain't your best plays, man. About 30 seconds. Go ahead.
EastCoastSportsInvestors.com or go over to Twitter at EC Sports Invest. I'm just going to make it short, sweet, and simple. I'm going to do a money line parlay, Ravens and 49ers. If you do a money line parlay, that gets you right around plus 100 today.
Telling you, plus 100. Got to extract the value. Scotty, beam him up, Webb, MLBDaily.com. Thank you so much for stopping, Big Boy. What's your best play today? Go ahead, brother.
Well, like I said, I think you're Chunky McGillicuddy today. You can play the Baltimore Ravens, play the 49ers, both to win the games. And I do like that. I made it 3 times. I bet the line, and then I did what Jeff just said. I played a money line parlay with both of them, so got a pretty good value just to win.
There you go, Scotty. Beam him up, Webb. Again, baseball season's coming around the corner soon, guys. Want to be locked in with me here, jbtheticket.com. My main man, Troy West from TroyWins.com. Tell them where they can get your best plays, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, follow us on Instagram. It's Troy West. The website is TroyWins.com. My lock of the day, I'm going under 44.5. Ravens, KC, I think it's going to be a grind it out, run the football, 2 really good defenses. 2017 type of final. Give me under 44.5 is my lock.
Telling you where to get that cash. My main man, John Ryan, Predictive Sports Betting Playbook. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. What's your best play? And then we're going to round it out with the main man of the board today, Ronnie B, Las Vegas, jbtheticket.com. Go ahead, John Ryan, then we'll get out of here.
You can find me at the X, Twitter at John Ryan Sports and the number 1, the predictiveplaybook.com, and I provide content, as you said, JB, at rotowire.com. And my best bet for the show here is Pacheco over 63.5 rushing yards. I think you're going to see Kansas City come out with a lot of 12 and 13 offensive schemes and setups, and Pacheco should have a big day.
There you go, Ronnie B. 15 seconds. We're getting ready to get off the line. What's your best play today? They're going to see you over at the Marriott. Go ahead.
You go ahead and play that KC under the total. The 67% play, go ahead and bet it.
Telling you where to make the money, and that's a wrap, guys. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, back at you live next weekend. You guys know what to do. Wake up early in the morning and let's say it all together at one time. Get the money!
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket. Vegas Scoreboard Express.